Hello. This Böker King Cutter was sent to me to evaluate. It's a brand new razor. It was sent to me to evaluate and send to the owner if everything is good, or put a J-net edge on if it needs it. So, wonderful little 5/8 razor. But first thing we want to know is, will it shave? So let's do a quick test. And the answer to that would be yes. It's definitely sharp enough to shave. And so my first inclination is to say, yeah, let's just use it. But let's take a look at the quality of the edge underneath the microscope. Is it nice and smoothly formed, or is it a sawtooth? So I'm gonna cut away, look at the edge. I'll make some microscope photos and I'll show those to you next. Okay, well, the edge could be nicer looking. It's sharp, but the quality of the apex does not look strong to me. Also, I'm not thrilled about the look of the scratch pattern. So I think I'm going to do a little refresh on it with the J-net. And so the first thing we want to know is, or the next thing we want to know is, does this lie flat? And the answer is absolutely does on this side, which is very good news. Let's take a look. Let's take a look on this side. Does it lie flat on this side? And the answer is, get the bolster off, yes it does. So that's very good news. All right, well, I think we'll put a quick edge on this. Then we're going to do a shave test. So the next step here is I'll see you on the bench. Here we are back at the stones. I'm going to use my Nakayama Maruka Shohunyama. I'm going to do a Chu Nagura followed by a Koma Nagura. So I didn't show you the little tray here. So Chu Nagura, followed by Koma, followed by a Tomo Nagura, and then we'll hit the stone with water and probably end up pushing using a little bit of soapy water, pushing the edge using soapy water. I have already raised the Chu slurry, so let's get going. The whole purpose of using this edge is good, but it does not look strong. It does not look as if it would hold up for very long. So the purpose of the Chu is to really knock down the existing edge. And then effectively take that little bit of metal away. And we're only really looking at maybe taking, I don't know, 4 or 5 microns, 4 or 5 millionths of a meter away. So we won't be spending too long on this. What we want is a nice even bevel. From this stage, we want a nice even bevel that cuts, but it probably will not be as sharp as it was when the razor was received, but we'll return it to that level of sharpness and maybe beyond. I also flattened this stone and gave it about a 2-minute soak to make sure that it would had enough water in it. Okay, let's check our status. Beautiful little razor. These have a great reputation, these Böker King Cutters. Okay, yes, we have an edge. It's a little bit less defined than it was before, but that's what we expected. I'm going to go take a quick look in the microscope, make sure that I've accomplished what I want to accomplish at this stage, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'd say that the overall edge is looking pretty good. I'm going to do just a little bit more work here with the Chew Nagura to ensure that I've got all of the old original metal off the edge. If there's anywhere that the machining process will have weakened the metal, it would be at the very apex. So I'm I could have killed the edge, but in this case, I'm just gonna let the slurry remove it. And it looks, I showed you the microscope images. It looks very good already, but I want to just make certain before we go on to the coma that I haven't left anything behind. One area that I did notice, probably the heel was a little worse, so I'm making sure I'm cleaning the edge, but also making sure that the heel is not left behind in this process. Loving the way the slurry is moving. Love the way everything feels. The Chew is a pretty magical stone. Okay, let's move on. I'm going to pause the video while I make slurry with the Coma Nagura, and then I'll be back. All right, I've raised the slurry with the Coma Nagura. One of the things I love about Japanese doing JNATs on razors, well, is in general, is the ability to use varying degrees of abrasion by just changing the slurry. With something like a caudicle, you're dependent upon the thickness of the slurry and the time that you spend with it to do your cutting. On a JNAT, I mean, there's multiple ways to do this with a JNAT, but what I like doing is to use varying sequence of slurry to do the cutting. I feel like it gives you, when you do this, it gives you a lot of control over your process. And it's a little quicker. I felt while I was chatting there, I could feel the edge change. I felt a change in the way the edge feels on the stone. So I'm thinking that we are in very good shape here. looking forward to the test shave with this razor. Going to dilute this just a little bit. I can feel that the razor is really laying nice and flat on the stone. That's very nice. It's nice not to have to go through any kind of gyrations to get to the entire edge. Okay, I'm gonna consider that to be done for the moment on this stage, and we're gonna test to verify that not only are we still cutting the packing peanut, but it takes less pressure. Oh yes, oh yes. So at this moment, we are at the same level of pressure as the factory edge, maybe even a little less. Yes, I'd say maybe slightly less. So that's good. That's where we want to be. Let's move on to the Tomo slurry, which I will raise using this little diamond plate. I won't make you watch that, so I'll come back when that slurry is raised. The Tomo slurry is now raised, as you can see, so let's dig in. Wow, that feels incredible. This stone is pretty magical. My Izuku is also an excellent stone. It's harder than this one. The slight softer feel of the stone surface is just wonderful with this. Beautiful. And always paying attention to the heel. Not my razor, but I treat it as if it is. I use the entire edge, and so I make sure that any razor that leaves here I've made my best effort to make the entire edge uniform in sharpness and condition, so that if you don't use the heel too much in the way that you shave, no problem, but if you do, it's in good shape for you. Okay, I'm going to, that feels super good. Going to dilute that. All I'm doing here, so the density of the slurry relates to the amount of abrasion. So I'm slowly moving my way towards a very thin slurry, which for me constitutes the plain water step. A tiny bit of slurry is helpful, I think, to break up surface tension on the stone. As I've mentioned before, I'm not one of those people who believes that when the stone starts to when the razor has difficulty moving over the stone, when it feels as if the stone is sucking the razor down. I don't necessarily believe that that's where you need to stop. I think you stop where that I think in general the stone has a little more to give, and so I want to stop where testing indicates to me that I have diminishing returns. I don't need to get the razor as completely sharp as I can, because I tend to like edges that are extremely sharp. The main complaint that I get from people is, oh, that's too sharp. And so, and that's mostly people who've been shaving a long time. Yeah, mostly long time straight razor shavers. And so I've been working I've learned myself to, I've learned myself to shave with duller and more comfortable edges. So I now get what those people are, where they're coming from. This is really, really good. Yeah, this is really good. Okay, let's do a little pushing on soapy water. I need to go grab the soap. I'll be right back. I'm still in my scented hand soap phase. Here's the scented hand soap. It even says hand soap. This particular soap has a mixture of regular soapy solution, but also some coconut oil in it. And I like it has a slightly different feel on the stone that I like. Now, does it really matter? Well, I mean, clearly having a fragrance matters. I mean, that's clearly a big deal. The rest of it, I don't know. Oh, wow. Yeah, I doubt that you can see what I'm seeing, but boy, does that look good. As usual, I want the edge coming off the stone to have the sharpness that I want. I do not want to be stropping for sharpness. It wants to stropping. I don't strop a lot. You know, I'll typically do 20 and 40 just to clean up any small amounts of microscopic bits of burr that might be on the edge. I, in the past, have shown you microscope photos before and after of the edge, before stropping and after stropping, and you can see that there's very little difference between the two, and that's just my preference. I think if you do I think this is part of what contributed to me having such an easy time back in austere August, shaving every day with a stainless steel razor that I never stropped the whole month. I think part of the magic for that was having an edge coming off the stone that was exactly how I wanted it, and then just simply letting that edge wear with shaving every day. And the wear, since you use both sides of the razor, that wear was relatively even, and the feeling of the edge became more comfortable as the month went on. Day 31 was more comfortable and a little less sharp than day 1, but the razor was still completely usable. So here we are. We are pushing into the cloud here. So I'm going to strop and take some images and come back and talk about the result. I did 20 laps on the fire hose linen. I just finished 40 laps here. Oops, well, that'll dry. 40 laps here. Let's do some testing, final testing. That's push into the cloud. That's absolutely wonderful feeling. Just where we want to be. Again, it's not how far I go in. That's not important. It's the force needed to just break the surface of the polystyrene. And that is really nice. Testing very even the whole length of the edge. That's what I want it to be. I want it to have the same amount of pressure to break the surface. So that's good. So let's take some microscope images and I'll show those to you. And then let's do a test shave. Thanks very much for watching. I always appreciate it. Feel free to ask any questions or make any comments in the comments section. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.